She'll show up.
They're already standing handing out.
Right, so we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. 38 now. We could start with a moment of silence. And stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We also have Colin connected.
Not, yeah, but I just texted him.
Okay. You can go ahead and take roll call for us.
Councilmember Williams, Reed, Jackson,
Here.
Lawler,
Here.
Davis,
Present.
French,
Here.
and Mayor Snyder.
Here. So I do want to thank everybody for taking time out to be here this morning so that we can talk about moving forward with an interim city manager. So that is our topic of conversation today. In your packets, Colin did provide some resumes for individuals that could potentially work out. Colin, I will go ahead and turn over the floor to you.
Morning, Colin.
Hey, Colin.
There you go. You're muted. You're muted.
Good morning.
Morning.
So I'll just briefly give council a little overview. I actually sat down and went through the entire list of people that are on listed as interim managers on the MME website, and I kind of just looked at where they were located, you know, what their experience was, if there were any red flags or things like that. And that's how I came up with the initial 4 individuals that I provided to you. After I provided those to you, I had an opportunity to speak with some city managers, former city managers, and they gave me some insight as to their experience with those individuals that I had provided you. And obviously, I sent you an email yesterday with another individual, which was meant to substitute for one of them. But out of the ones that you have, the one that came most highly recommended was the gentleman that actually lives in Concord, right nearby. Mr. Terry was the one that was highly recommended by everyone that I spoke to. He has extensive experience. Like I said, he lives in Concord, and that would be ideal. Obviously, both of the Gutchows were also recommended, but I was informed, and obviously this isn't information that's available on the website. I was informed there might be an issue with Greg's availability, and I was led to believe he may or may not have some health issues, which I won't go into, but so that might be a potential stumbling block. The additional resume that I provided you was for a Mr. Pastu. He's out of Farmington, but his information indicates he's willing to serve as an interim anywhere in the state. Also has extensive experience and came very highly recommended by other managers. So that's what I have for council. Like I said, Mr. Terry was universally recommended by pretty much everybody that I talked to. So my suggestion would be, I mean, you know, councils can certainly, you know, select whoever they want, but my suggestion would be to pick maybe a front runner and a second runner up and maybe a third runner up in case any of these other individuals might also be unavailable. But I'm happy to answer any questions.
So Doug Terry's resume is on page 20 in your packet. So that's the individual that lives in Concord. Councilman French?
So Doug Terry was a finalist for one of our city manager positions in the last 12, 14 years. And he was seeking to become a part-time city manager for us when we were looking for a full-time, because he was currently, at that time anyway, city manager of Homer, I think, or Concord. And we didn't want a part-time city manager, so we removed him from the list. So he interviewed very well, so.
I'll say, I also reviewed, reviewed them all, but Doug's resume did look very good. And I see that he was also one of the youngest, city here in the state of Michigan back in 1982. But, his resume and also Jay Gustav's resume both kind of stuck out to me. Some of the work that Jay had previously done in other communities. I know we're only gonna have him for a short time, but transitioning, it seems like he had the experience with transitioning and also working to hire other city managers that followed him, as well as some of the funding and different things budget wise that he was able to do over the time frame working in these different communities. So
Cullen, would our, I guess after we discuss, would our motion would be like to select number 1, number 2, and number 3 and see how they fall? Or what would
Yeah,
you-
because like I said, there's no guaranteeing that the individual that we select as the primary candidate will be available. They may be otherwise engaged right now. The one thing I found that was also pretty universal when you look at the resumes and stuff that are posted on MME is I don't necessarily think they're updating it. When I say they, I mean the candidates consistently, because some of them still say that they're employed by, X municipality, but then they're also, on the MME cover page say that they're seeking like part-time opportunities. So I think it's not entirely clear whether or not they're available. So I think the best course of action for council is, pick your primary candidate, pick a secondary, and pick, a third. And that way, we can approach these individuals and say, hey, we'd like to work with you. Are you available? And if they say no, we can immediately move to the second person on the list and so on and so forth. But, everybody that you've got resumes for is very, very experienced and very, very qualified. So.
Yes, and it doesn't say, it doesn't say whether they're busy or not, in terms of, are they presently serving or are they totally available? So I don't think the candidates are asked to update their information, so it will be updated. So I looked at some of the same resources.
So I guess, if there's no other like glaring issues, because like Colin said, these are all well-established individuals with a lot of experience in being a city manager. So I don't think we can go wrong, but I guess let's go with the best possibility. So I would be okay with saying Doug Terry as our first choice, possibly Jay Gutschall. And then it's a past due, so I don't know what the rest of you had considered. If that kind of falls in line with what you were thinking, or. Okay. Vincent past due, that was the one that Colin sent us yesterday. So it's not in the packet, but he emailed it to us today. Oh, that's.
yeah, the loose one.
I have a question for Cullen. So Cullen, you're saying, you believe due to maybe some health issues about Greg?
So I don't have any firsthand information about that. I was led to believe by some managers that I spoke to that he was presently working with another community. But what they told me is, and I don't want to get too much into his personal life, but they basically said he was kind of slowing things down because he might have had some health concerns. I don't know that to be a fact. That's just what I was told by some other managers, but I did hear he was presently working with another community, so there might be availability issues as well. Which is unfortunate because, obviously he's worked with the city before, and so he's very familiar with what we all have going on in terms of our needs and things like that. But I mean, Greg is very, very qualified, and if you want him on the list, I'm happy to approach him. I just, wanted to put that out there that was what I had heard when I spoke to some other managers.
He should still be first and put the other order as the. It seemed like Greg should be first and then
That sounds good.
Terry after him. So we know that if we can't get Craig, then we go with Terry and
Yeah.
then do the other individuals well. And I
That
think
sounds
they'll
good.
be in right order for,
Yeah,
because we all were in
Like I
agreement
said,
with
I
it.
don't have any concern with the candidates that
Right.
Cullen gave us. So
Yeah.
like I said, I don't think we're gonna go wrong.
Yeah,
I'm on board with that as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Greg, Terry, and then Jay,
Yep.
Yes.
Greg, Terry, Jay, and then
then Vincent.
Yeah.
Vincent.
We need to make that a motion.
Go ahead.
So I move that we create a list where the first choice is Greg Gutchow. First runner-up, Doug Terry, third runner-up, Jay Gutchow, and third runner-up, first runner-up is second runner-up is third. Come on, don't you do beauty pageants? Third runner-up is.
I live in Albion.
She's retired from.
And third runner-up is
Vincent.
Vincent,
Vincent, the past due.
Are we all good with that?
Yes.
So we got a motion. We got a support. Support. Plenty of support.
Question, Mike?
So to be clear, the motion is to have city staff approach those individuals in that order for purposes of serving as interim manager, and I guess my suggestion would be upon approval of a mutually agreeable employment contract. Because I have no idea what any of these individuals are going to charge.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's get the ball moving. Yeah. Are we good, Cullen?
Yeah.
Okay, City manager first.
It was
Like Domingo?
Councilmember Williams,
Yes.
Reed. Yes. Jackson,
Yes.
Lawler,
Yes.
Davis,
yes,
French,
yes.
and Mayor Snyder.
Yes. Awesome. So really, that was the only thing that we needed to meet about today. Do we have any council member comments? Just that I would say that, again, this Sunday, we were blessed with great weather for the kids to have sweets on Superior. I would really love to know how many kids were downtown. Both sides of the street were full. Both sides. And appreciate having public safety out, appreciate having our city workers out. They were back and forth, making sure things stayed clean. I think it was a good event, and just appreciate Billy at the chamber and all of his folks that he has on his team for pulling off another great event for our kids. All right, that being said, anything else?
I'm glad this process is moving forward and hopefully we will have someone on board with it
Let's hope,
next
fingers
week,
crossed.
so.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Support. All in favor, say aye. Opposed?